Injuries that came up in the game. Landon Young, we'll see how that goes with the ankle. Shane Lemieux with the ankle. We had a few ankles come up here. Christian Boyd with a little hand, and everyone else, there's a few other bunch of bumps and bruises that obviously we'll have to navigate over the next couple days. But love the effort, love the energy that our guys played with. It felt like, you felt the dome for that first quarter. It felt a little bit like a regular season game with ones versus ones. Tons of really good work in there. And, ultimately didn't get the goal at the game of getting the victory. Came up short. When the moment presents itself, we got pounced on a couple opportunities and we weren't able to. And so, tons of good film for us to go through. And then obviously the challenging aspect of this thing is just the roster transactions that we have to do for this next week. So we'll have to make some really tough decisions and try and keep as many of these guys as we can. So open up for questions.
How soon do you expect that roster cuts and things like that will begin? Do you like to start that right after the game, or do you?
We'll review this game, have those discussions initially on Sunday. Monday we'll continue that discussion. Obviously, we know the deadline ultimately is Tuesday, so the bulk of that will be done on Tuesday, and we'll see if there's anything that needs to be addressed maybe on Monday as well.
And just to be clear, when you say have those discussions, you mean discussions with the coaching staff, or discussions you're starting discussions with the players?
No, not with the players on Sunday. Sunday's an off day for the players. I think for all the coaches and the personnel department, for us to get together, watch this film, evaluate it, have the necessary discussions that we need to have, and they'll be really healthy discussions. We got a lot of competition on this team. There'll be a lot of challenging things that we'll ultimately have to make decisions on.
Do you have a timetable yet for when you want to announce a starting quarterback for the regular season?
Yeah, we'll go through this process. We'll study the film Sunday. We'll have those discussions, and then at some point next week we'll make that decision and communicate with certainly the players first and foremost, and we'll get it to everyone else as well.
Do you feel like you saw anything one way or another from either quarterbacks that maybe starts to sway you already, or are you trying to keep everything?
I thought there was a lot of good by the quarterbacks. There's a couple missed opportunities, and but I thought they were going through the right process. Both guys, I think had some opportunities in there. Tyler had an awesome run down in the red zone. I thought he used his feet pretty well in this game, and so there was some good stuff, and I felt good that we were able to get Jake in there just because last week just the way the game played out, we weren't able to get him those reps, and so I felt like it was really awesome to get him a couple series in there. And so I know all three of these guys, they want to play the whole game and they want to play as long as they can, and that's a challenging aspect of preseason. You got to navigate that.
Obviously, Spencer got to start with the first string the entire time they were in the game, and then Tyler came in with the second string. I mean, if it was like more of a competitive atmosphere, would they have taken turns and both played with the starters?
We had discussed, a lot of the ones were kind of independent of the quarterback situation. We just felt like Spencer had gotten to enough reps that we saw some work there. We wanted to make sure we were going to give enough reps and then place into some situations that Tyler was able to get into, which play in earlier in the game. His first game he played, the last drive of the second quarter against the Chargers, and so we felt like we got some good work for him, today.
Just maybe for the sake of being thorough, it's not like a consideration, at least at this point, to bring in a veteran, right? You've been pretty thorough on it's going to be one of these guys, correct?
Yeah, we feel great about this group. We've invested and poured a lot into these guys. These guys are young guys. They're going to keep growing each and every day, and we're excited to see where this thing goes for all of them.
Obviously, you want to, balance seeing what these guys have while also, not, I guess, quote unquote, tipping your hand out there and running too much stuff to give teams an idea of what your offense will look like this season. Has that been kind of a challenge, balancing those two things?
There's certain aspects of our offense and defense and special teams that you're naturally not going to do in preseason. We feel like you do want to give these guys a chance to be successful, put them in really good situations. There's enough film over the last few years of our offense, defense, and special teams. People have an idea, and certainly those things we feel comfortable we can show them and put the things on film, and we'll save the other things for later.
Do you think any of the injuries are going to affect how you guys approach the degree?
There'll be a few discussions just because it comes down to really tomorrow's discussion once we figure out the length of some of these injuries, and there's some that may lead into the regular season. That will be some challenging discussions for us just to how to handle those. We feel like there's a few that we'll have to navigate, but the rest should be pretty clean.
Kellen, is this one of the most difficult weeks of the season coming on up? Getting to the 53 and actually talking to a team and saying, hey, we love what you did, but part of the team.
Yeah, this is the most challenging week of the NFL. We've invested so much time in all 90 of these guys. They've put everything into this. This is everyone's hopes and dreams and aspirations, and we want that to happen to all these guys. Naturally, you have to go from 90 to 53, bring 16 or 17 back on practice squad, and we want to keep as many of these guys as we can in this organization because we're going to need all these guys. As the season goes on, you're going to need a lot of guys to contribute, and so there's challenging discussions to be had, but this is a group that we root for, and we're all in on.
Do you expect to actively be following the waivers, in positions where you have a bunch of injuries and see what everybody else? You expect to be active in that end of it?
It's always important to do your due diligence. Mickey, Michael, Kai, Jeff, all those guys, they're going to put a ton of work into the next few weeks to just making sure we understand where the league's at and what opportunities present themselves. And we're always trying to acquire more players, more talented players that can help us, be successful. And so we'll continue to go down that road.
After Shuck's touchdown, there was an opportunity to see him potentially lead a comeback drive. You just saw what you needed to see.
Yeah, I thought he did a really awesome job. I thought that was a great response, that drive by him. I think he had a number of completions in a row. The one incompletion is said. He made a great adjustment at the line of scrimmage. We were really close there, and then the run was just phenomenal. It was great recognition on him, high football IQ, decision making, and so we were able to get Jake in for a couple drives there. And those are never easy moments because we would love to get these guys a million reps. Ultimately, we felt like getting Jake a couple in there presented an opportunity for us.
A lot of good was to see Devin finally get some play.
Oh yeah, Devin, yes. It was great. It was great for Devin to get in there. Thought from a protection standpoint, pass catching, run game, I thought he had a couple on that drive with Tyler late in the game in the fourth quarter. He had some big time plays. And you can just tell he's a really smart player. He's a really heady player. He did some good things for us.
A lot of the starters got several drives. Was there any reason why Kamara only played one snap?
Yeah, that was just we just kind of talked about, we wanted to get Kendre with that group, which I felt like was going to be a great opportunity for him. Alvin was alive and he was ready to go as far as taking some reps if we needed it. But we really felt like that was a great opportunity for Kendre to roll with those ones as well.
How do you feel like he handled that opportunity?
Good. Yeah, Kendre has just had a really steady entire offseason. I thought he's done a phenomenal job. Training camps, he's just been consistent week in and week out. These games, I thought he runs really, really hard. He's a physical player. We like what we've seen.
He's a guy that is, trying to really kind of rebound after injuries and things like that. What have you seen from him, maybe away from the field, in terms of work ethic, things like that?
I think he has tremendous work ethic. He's really focused on this opportunity. You can just feel it. I think his preparation that has gone into this thing, he's put a ton of time and effort into it. He handles a lot of volume, and I think that's really, really valuable. When you're behind Alvin, we're going to ask you to do a few different things, and you're going to have to be ready to hop in here and there. And so, whatever's happened in the past, I don't really care about because what we've seen has been awesome.
What did you make of your starting defense?
Love the energy, love the effort, love the physicality. We had an unfortunate one with DeMario with the penalty there. It was all about the right intent. He's trying to push the guy out of bounds. We'll see if it, went a little too far. That was kind of the information we got, and so that'll be a great lesson for us just to see. But I love the energy. They made some really good plays. Sutton made some really good contested plays that moved them downfield. But I felt like our guys were in position to compete each and every play.
Kellen, Quincy Riley seems like he's kind of happened into a couple interceptions through camp. What does that say about his game that he seems to always be in the right spot?
He's a ball guy, and he just continues to be around the football, and when you're around it, good things happen, and so certainly he's contributed to a number of big-time moments. That was a big-time stop for our defense, gave us an excellent opportunity to go drive it. From an offense perspective, we weren't able to capitalize on that sudden change, which was unfortunate, but that was a big play for him.
If I can ask about the process, looking at the quarterbacks, seemingly they've been pretty close. When you all meet as a group with Doug and Tolzien and Mickey, is it a group decision, or is it I'm the head coach and what I want at the end will probably happen?
Well, certainly I think it's important that we collaborate and talk through this thing. That's an important aspect of this thing. Everyone's got their different perspectives and different exposures, and so that'll be really, really important. Ultimately, I know I have to make a decision, and it's a challenging one because these guys have put everything into this. They've been very, very close. We love this room. We want this room to be together, and we know good things are going to happen to all these guys as their journey goes on. And so, we'll watch it tomorrow. We'll navigate it, and we'll make a decision early.
In those discussions so far, are you guys all in agreement, or is there, some back and forth?
There's healthy discussions, absolutely. I'm not going to get into the voting ballots. This isn't, Big Brother or something, going through everyone's ballots every week. But, so it's been great discussion. I think we got the right guys in the room.
You talked about Spencer do you think he took a step forward today? And overall, how has he been? How did he come along?
Yeah, Spence did some really good work today. I thought he made some excellent decision making. And, I think the one that he's going to sit on is that we just missed an opportunity to throw it. Right behind. It ended up right on the back hip of Shaheed. But other than that, I thought he did some really good stuff. He went through some progressions really well. Found some guys. That's a really good defense. They're going to give you some looks. Vance obviously does an excellent job, and so I thought it was some really good work for him.
Going on fourth down there, obviously, is that kind of hey, we want to see this part of the offense, or was it just the moment you wanted to be aggressive?
Yeah. I mean, it's 4th and inches. We're going to lean on going for it in those situations, and we got to convert. And so, we ran one particular play. We'll see how it looked on film. We'll address that and put ourselves in position to go for it again.
Are you concerned by the amount of injuries you guys have had already to the offensive line?
Sometimes this is the way injuries occur. You can't control all these aspects. It has hit the offensive line a little bit, and we'll continue to evaluate and address it.
On the pass to Shaheed, you mentioned, was that not that number of lines?
It may have been, yeah. You guys may have had a better. I haven't seen the TV portion of it, so if it was tipped, then maybe that, there's your answer.